So today is day 52 of 2026. In today's vlog, I want to talk about basically understanding your own emotions. Like, I noticed that how the intensity of certain emotions can sometimes really blur the reality. So basically, I'll take my thing. There is this person, okay, we have a preconceived notion which is which causes a bit of fear-like response. So, like a preconceived notion about a person that uh, makes you fear them. Then the second thing would be direct fear induced from that person. So the preconceived notion plus the fear induced directly maximizes the fear you feel from that person. Basically, you're not scared of the person as a whole, you're scared of the expectations of the person, not the other way around. Sometimes it is the case that you're scared of the person as well as the expectations. You need to understand what exactly it is. The third thing is the fear of not meeting the expectations set by the person because of the fear that was induced by that person in the first place with respect to his expectations. Okay. So you begin to like analyze things from the start, okay. Then comes a personal history with the place you're working, because let's say nobody grows up disliking a person, nobody grows up disliking your own home, nobody grows up disliking your own school. There are reasons and factors that the person knows themselves that make them feel very um, extra conscious in the place that they are. So if there were some really bad things that occurred in that place, I would say the person is more likely to feel that they are really in a very unsafe spot, and the fear that is induced like by someone else in that environment can only amplify the emotions that they are feeling. So it may not be real, okay, it may not be that bad, but the amplification that is caused by your brain, which signals basically that there is danger, which signal that there is danger, uh, it only gets worse because other factors also are in favor of it. So I want to talk about how this thing started from fear, and like first it started with feeling not a, like I'm not in a safe place. Then it went off to fear, and then coupling of fear and being unsafe made it like worse. So it basically made you feel that the person who was just inducing the fear, it made you feel that it was something more severe. Okay. Like the intensity of what you're feeling, it increases greatly. The next would be, I think I've covered this. That is the fear of not meeting the expectations. Yeah. So combining all those kinds of fears, the feeling, the intense feeling you get of dislike sometimes, which may or may not be real again, caused due to um, the intensity of the emotions, which basically the blurs the degree of actual fear that was induced. So in a situation like that, you really want to like stay away from that person. Basically, your mind has pictured that. Suppose that there are other factors that are causing thing that you're feeling, but this person might be causing maybe around 40% of it, and the other things are causing 60%. The person who caused the 40%, okay, if that induced fear is and the intensified emotions are coming from that person, it will greatly override the other things causing it, even though it is more, because your brain has perceived that person as a threat. So you're going to skip things with a threat, like very to the point, and not going to like talk about uh things. And to overcome that, again, that kind of fear, I think it again requires a lot of work. Means it did, like that work is done now, I feel, but initially it was not like that. I felt my brain was working in a total survival mechanism, which made things slowly worse. So understanding your start state, understanding how someone's words can impact you. Like I've seen, like for many people the words don't impact, but I also realized that I really care about what people say, like what people say to me on the face. I don't care what they think, but on the face, meaning like if they like say something, like I want it to be either very clear, very. I don't want it to be something like harsh. See, you're starting with a preconceived notion of fear, then you're inducing fear, and if those words are like, oh my gosh, make you like, feel scared all the time, I think you're basically going to be perceived as a threat, maybe considered as torture also for the person who's already feeling that the place they are in is unsafe. So sometimes the person in front of us may not clearly understand what we are going through, because a past state of the mind and the way we process things is very different from what they assume is going on. For them, their actions might, they may feel that they have done nothing wrong, or like their actions are not causing that much thing. But it depends from individual to individual, and you cannot generalize what effect it has on every single person. So sometimes when you use your words, I think you should really think twice. I'll tell you one thing. It may not be true for everyone, but sometimes words make you and break you. And I've been through the good phases of making, and I've been through bad phases of making. And words were the key role that the words played. in that whole journey, I would say. And day 52 of 2026.